everyone. It is 8:30 on Monday, November the 9th, and it's morning briefing time. Snapshot of the region this morning. We have some updated numbers from the unaccompanied children. No changes to our declarations. Do have an update there on our damage assessments. The requested counties is now up to 13 from 8. And no fire management grant request to talk about this morning. As we switch over to the Geo platform, things are relatively quiet around the region right now. Brian's going to have a weather update here in just a moment. Before we go there, no changes to the National NRCC or the National Watch. No changes to the Region Watch or the RRCC. All our state EOCs are at level 4 steady state. No changes to the status of our IMAC this morning. No shelters, or correction, 4 shelters in Texas are open with 129 occupants. And looking at power outages this morning, we're at 3,400 region-wide. Most of those are in Texas with 2,200, followed by Arkansas and Louisiana at 275. Now, before we turn it over to Brian, we do have Tropical Storm Kate just named within the last half hour. And you see the projected track of Kate. And one more thing to mention, and I'll steal a little bit of Brian's thunder. The Storm Prediction Center has a risk of severe storms for tomorrow and more so on Wednesday with an enhanced risk, and Brian will tell us more about that here in just a moment. Now we'll go back to the big map and turn it over to Brian.
Okay, any questions? Just kidding. I guess I'll give the weather brief now. We do have a high wind watch over New Mexico, and that is mainly for tomorrow, and that'll be as the next weather system comes in tomorrow and into Wednesday. Really the impact period for FEMA Region 6 is going to be Wednesday, where the Storm Prediction Center has already put an enhanced risk for severe weather over northern portions of Arkansas. Would not be surprised to see that upgraded to a moderate risk. And right now, that is looking like it's going to be primarily for damaging winds. Certainly could see a few tornadoes as well, but it is mostly going to be a damaging wind threat. And as mentioned, you can see in the lower left-hand corner of the map there, over northern Arkansas as far as FEMA Region 6 is concerned, with a slight risk over the rest of Arkansas and into eastern Oklahoma, northeast Texas, and northern Louisiana. That's going to get going Wednesday afternoon and into the evening time frame, and really be a very quick moving system. So by the time we get into Wednesday night, it should be out of FEMA Region 6. And you can see that reflected in the threat matrix also, that really that's the only impacts that we're expecting in the next 5 days, is that quickly moving severe weather system on Wednesday. River flooding is continuing to river. We do have minor to moderate river flooding, and then we have that one point down at Liberty on the Trinity River, which continues to kind of waver between a high moderate to a low major river flooding. And you can see the forecasted hydrograph to the right there, excuse me, where it's going to hover in the moderate to major really over the next 5, 7, maybe week or so. It's just a very slow draining system down there. Rainfall, you can see nothing going on for today, and then we do have some rain that'll be coming in with that system on Wednesday, but really nothing to write home about, so shouldn't really see anything in the way of flash flooding or enhanced river flooding with that system on Wednesday. Just going to be damaging winds and a few tornadoes with that system on Wednesday. Paul already mentioned the tropics. When I made the slide, it was Tropical Depression 12, but 30 minutes ago they did upgrade it to Tropical Storm Kate. Excuse me. And bottom line is this system will have no impacts to the United States as it's going to curve around to the northwest, then the north, and then finally to the northeast over the next couple to 3 days and head out to sea. You can kind of make out the front there that's going to absorb it there in the Atlantic. Other than Kate, we have no other tropical activity expected over the next 5 days. The drought monitor was released last Thursday and showed continued improvement. And space weather is mostly quiet. We do have a little bit of active space weather for today and tomorrow, but really no impacts to speak of to FEMA Region 6. And that's all I have unless there's any questions.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Any question for the Weather Service? You know what to do. In the meantime, we'll take a look at the meetings going on around the region this week. Today's meetings are highlighted in bold there. And this morning's trivia. Which president declared the last Thursday of November Thanksgiving? Anyone care to take a guess? All right, I see some answers coming in. And the first one is correct. And thanks to Bruno for editing the graphic there. Any questions this morning? All right, everyone.
Have a getting rid of that. I'll see you figure up the screen. Just to let you know what the agenda for